sports. Is Coach Iggy still here? First of all, let me get to a troubling part of what you said, which is students were not being allowed to enroll at the school based on their ethnicity. That's just not the case. And so you can follow up with us and we can talk about examples where that might have been perceived to be true, and we'll look into those because it's not acceptable, it's not the case, so we will look at that. But I need to warn you, when we're looking at the deficit we are looking at sports programs across the system. So we're looking at, can every school with the Section 6 rules actually field a team? And I think the costs are huge. Some of the thought has been some schools can be stronger in some sports than others. But this is a conversation let's have with Audrey Lloyd. Let's bring your principal back to the table and let's have the conversation. I understand, and I'm going to go to our next point, because, so we will talk about that, but you know, Ms. Burns talked about mentoring. And one of the ways in which we have real mentors for a lot of our students are their coaches. I mean, these are people who the very nature of what they do gives us mentors in our school. And somebody came and met with me this week on a proposal about better communication between our athletes, be they kindergarten till 8th graders or our high school athletes, so we can set up a better communication system so that these coaches who are already so important in the lives of the young people help communicate with the teachers about attendance, academics. So it's exciting. We'll be looking at it later. It's a way to combine important people in their life, an activity that keeps them engaged, and guidance. So thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you, Superintendent.
All right, in terms of suspension, there are a couple facets to this. First of all, I do want to thank Community Action for reaching out to your organization to get some feedback. What that was in reference to is there was an element on the table where we talked about the change we were going to make. We had some of the council's comments there. He clarified those comments. So thank you for your input, and anything you continue to send us, believe me, we take it seriously. Mr. Trejak?
Trejak.
I said it.
Pretty close.
You didn't call me for an appointment, I don't think, but if you did,
Yeah.
didn't come my way, so
Okay.
feel free.
And not to mention, Citizen Action, not Community Action, did so. Just
Did I do that? I'm sorry. All right, around this as well. First of all, I think there's some misunderstanding. No, thank yous first, so I thank you. I want to thank our teachers for being here tonight. I talked to Mr. Ramore today. One of the ways we keep figuring this out and to see if what we put in place works and keeps working is to bring our teachers into the conversation. So one of the things we want to do is a task force that's going to move forward and continue to look at those elements we put in place and see how they're impacting the classroom. Will include teachers, because we really need those voices. This is a problem we all share, so I want to thank the teachers that were here tonight for their input. In terms of the resolution not being on the agenda tonight, what we proposed last week in committee are actually regulations. They're superintendent's regulations. So starting last Thursday, these went into effect. So they don't need board action. Our board is considering the Jawan Daniels proposal. They're looking at a suspension resolution. But for what I told you about last Wednesday, they went into effect on Thursday. So there was no need for board action on regulations. It's not an adjustment of the policy. It's a strengthening of the regulations we have. And what did go into effect is not just the pre-K and K. It really puts in place a parent conference in lieu of suspension and support services with the student support team for students in pre-K through 6. So, you know, it's not to be scoffed at. We're saying a parent conference in lieu of suspension up to 6th grade. You raised some good points about the 7th through 12th graders. We did put into effect, starting last Thursday, the fact that principals and the numbers of suspension at their schools, at all schools, are going to be looked at, and a corrective action plan will be put into place. We also looked at tightening and refining some of the special ed regulations to make sure that students with disabilities are having everything, that we're looking closely at the behavioral intervention plans, that we're looking at everything we need to do so that the nexus of their activity is really identified and helped. So that's where we are. We did, in fact, on Thursday, put these new regulations into effect. We are looking for a dramatic decrease in the numbers that you've seen that have been so unacceptable. we're not done with the conversation, we're not done with our motivation, and we're not done with hearing more voices about this, so I appreciate the voices here. Thank you.
Okay, before we get on to the action meeting for the previous minute, we have representatives
Should have mic checked the hoe.
from CCC and CTAC, I do believe, that wish to make a presentation
Give a
for
fuck.
the board.
I don't give a fuck. Call my mama hoe.
Lead Sam to the podium.
CPAC is the Special Education Parent Advisory Committee, and for the CPAC bylaws, the CPAC presents to the Board of Education twice a year as to what our goals are, what our findings have been with the schools, and to summarize the things that we're looking at. So what you see before you are normally the upcoming dates and all the places that we've been to this year. CPAC goes to a different site, either school, off-site school, or community support during the course of the school year to learn what support is being provided for students with special needs. If you look at the goals, that's kind of the big piece of what happened this year. These are the goals that we're working on over the course of the full school year. So graduation concerns are one that we always try to incorporate, and at our different site visits, ask about that if it's a high school, or if it's an agency visit, like today's visit, which was at the Culinary Academy. How are you helping to support students? What are you doing for students once they graduate? And students that have individual education plans, how are you following the needs that those students have so that they're successful in their post-education careers? The student concerns that ties in with bullying, fighting, suspensions, and life skills. So that's a piece that's been coming up repeatedly. What can we do to help support life skills for students?